Hi guys, it's Twintuitive717. I'm back with another video. So I wanted to share this video with you guys because I've been seeing a lot of 4s and 5s, and I wanted to help you guys understand how the numerology or how the number synchronicities apply to the twin flame journey, and to help break it down in a way that makes sense to you guys, so that when the numbers start showing up, you're not like so confused or you're just wondering why all the time. If that makes sense for some of you, when you see the number 4, something is trying to stabilize itself. And whether that's you or your twin flame, when you start seeing the 4 appear, that's the energy that you're feeling. On the opposite side, you could be feeling a lot of routine with that stability. Sometimes when things get a little bit too stable or predictable, then we might get bored or feel a little bit anxious, or we start thinking about, what else we can do. It's like you create a stable foundation with 4 walls, and then sometimes when that becomes too comfortable, you want to break down those 4 walls. And that's when that 5 comes into play, which means change. We want to bring a little bit of chaos to that change so that we can reevaluate a lot of what's going on. And speaking of reevaluating, that's the energy I feel with the 4s and the 5s for the masculines. So if many of you have experiences with your masculine where they're very spontaneous, they like to live life on the edge a little bit, there's no set of rules. When the 4s start coming in, and even if in your own life, because you and your twin flame are mirrors, you'll notice that sense of peace or balance wanting to bring itself apparent in your life. Some of you will want to move away from your home, or you'll want to create a new space for yourself where you have more privacy away from family members, or just kind of get that space and start something new and then stabilize it. So with your masculines, they're going through a sense of boredom with the spontaneous life, because there's been a pattern and now there's little fulfillment outside of what they feel with the feminines. So what that's causing them now to do is create a sense of stability in their lives, where the predictability of what's going to happen is wanting the feminine to have a safe place to go to, if you guys get what I mean. They're wanting now to create that safe haven for themselves, and so they in turns are wanting to make a move away from people, places, and things that don't really resonate with where they would like to take their lives. That's really the overall energy that's going on if you're seeing the 4s and 5s a lot. And if that's appearing, then the masculines are trying to either stabilize themselves or create some change around the stability that they feel, because they're getting very bored with their current life circumstances. With the feminine's presence too, it brings a lot of creativity and flow and new ideas into their lives. So it's really hard to stay in a stagnant cycle when the feminine is there with him. Okay, so we get the wheel. So the wheel is a beautiful card to come out, in my opinion. When I see the wheel card, I do think of evolvement. And that's what I think the masculine is going through. As we evolve, we improve our lives in some way. It's like you're saying goodbye to the routine that you created, and you're somehow going through the uncomfortable changes of letting go of that routine, but something new is on its way. And if you look at the transformation that the woman goes through on the card, it's like she's crying, but then there's a sense of hope. And then lastly, it's triumph, looking at herself in the mirror, realizing that after everything she's gone through, it was necessary. And so that's where the masculines are at right now. So if they are taking time to themselves, or you feel as though on the surface they're out and about having a good time and not putting too much time or focus into the connection, I feel the very opposite. I feel that whatever they're going through right now, whatever transformation, even if it is feeling very alone at the moment or just focusing on their passions, it's transforming them. You know, and in order to clarify some of those messages, let's just go ahead and see what the Minar deck will offer. Okay, so I pulled 2 extra cards here, which I will save for last. Alright, so to clarify the wheel, we'll start with the 8 of Fire. So fire is wands in the traditional tarot deck. And I feel with the 8 in numerology, it's all about attaining something. You know, working very hard and advancing forward. You have your eye on something. More life experience has been gained through this twin flame experience. And she's made a lot of progress throughout the pain, and I feel like that progress is the spiritual gifts that have been developing. And many of us who kind of dive into those feelings, that's what doing the inner work is all about. And I feel that we always come back to a space of love and healing and forgiveness. And then it's almost like a creativity within us sets itself on fire, or a new idea is birthed, or, you know, the phoenix rising from the ashes, I guess, with all of that color around her. You know, they've also gone through their transformation, like the masculines are going through now. A lot of that transformation for the masculines has to do with uprooting their current lives and being more truthful about the twin flame connection with people in their lives, especially with like spouses and their immediate families, because it's getting really uncomfortable again with the 5. So if a lot of you sense the 5 in there, or you're getting that anxiety, your stomach is rolling around, you feel like puking, you know, you could be picking up on your masculine's energy that's contemplating these big moments and big changes and big decisions. So we've got a lot of water energy as well, with the 4 and the 3. You know, or we could say the 3 and the 4. And, you know, we know water is cups. It's all about emotions. And, you know, with the 4, again, coming up. Yeah, I talked about the 4s and the 5s, and now we have the 3s or the 4s. And the 3 is all about that creativity that he's feeling and wanting to birth something new. Because the masculines know that the routine that they're going through, it's making them feel out of alignment. They're feeling unlike themselves. And this change is happening so rapidly with all of the ascension symptoms that they're feeling also. So it's almost undeniable as to what they feel for the feminines. And because the feminine energy is what it is and how it manifests within all of us, we can't help it be a guiding light towards the masculine. There's a lot of strength that the feminine offers to him and that he admires within her. And she creates that stability for him too. And that resonates for those of you whose masculines have been quite spontaneous and are now stabilizing themselves, or now getting into that 4 energy. You know, before I felt like he was very free and wild. Card almost like jumped out of my hand there. But yeah, that was the energy he was in. Very spontaneous and learning at the time, imagining, maybe unlearning something so that he could relearn different perspectives, different views, because the feminine was so different. Maybe some of you are different races. You know, you may be same sex. You know, you may be heterosexual and then you are now all of a sudden facing this attraction to someone of the same sex, and it's questioning everything you know. And I feel like that's what the journey ends up doing to us. You know, it's like we feel this sense of comfortability and freedom, and all of a sudden we meet our twin and it takes us right back into the 3 energy of feeling very imaginative, fantasizing and dreaming about them again. So, you know, I think that's how the numbers here, you know, kind of tie up together in this reading. So it's, you know, confirmation with the 4s and 5s coming out for you guys, because there's the 4 here, And you can tell that, the masculine's looking at the feminine from afar. He's learning from her. She creates that sense of peace for him. And he wants to clean up, so to speak. He wants to be predictable. He wants to be depended on. You've got something to work with. And that's what he's letting you know. The last two cards I pulled here, we've got another Cups. So perseverance. He knows that the feminine's energy is safe. And I think I pulled this card before, where the feminine is so gentle that it's allowing him to persevere throughout this journey because of her energy. He always feels safe to resurface, is what I get from this card. And then I want to end it off with the Two of Earth. Right now he's making a lot of decisions, a lot of choices about this twin flame connection. And he's very focused on the material world because, again, with trying to create that stability or trying to move out of too much stability, he's going to need his pentacles. So that's on his mind, but with the overall energy of the reading, there's a lot of transformation. Some of you are trying to become more consistent, and some of you are trying to break out of routine. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed the reading. I will catch you in the next one. If you haven't subscribed, please do so now, and you can hit that notification bell if you'd like to keep up to date with the content. Thank you again for all of your support on the channel. I'll speak to you guys in the next video.